Well, hello, this is Rosa, RCG Creations. How are you doing? I'm bringing to you a apple oatmeal bake. I got a little, we have bunko tomorrow night, me and a couple of ladies. And so I'm bringing dessert. And what I've done is I doubled the recipe because I want to have enough for tomorrow night. Then I want to have some for snacks for the couple of days. So I got 6 cups of oatmeal. I've got, let me get my, okay, I doubled it. So it's 6 cups of oats, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup packed brown sugar, 1 cup milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/2 cup melted butter, and 2 eggs. You mix it all up, put it in a baking dish, then you bake it for 40 minutes in a 350-degree oven. You let it cool for like 10 minutes, and then you slice it and you eat away. But what I've added to this is a regular oatmeal bake recipe. What I've added to this is I chopped up 3 onions, really fine little bite-sized pieces. I got it soaking in some water with lemon in it, lemon juice inside, so they don't turn brown. Let me get you closer up here. Oops. I keep on forgetting to turn this thing around so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. And see that? See how it hasn't turned or anything? Because that's what happens when you do that. So, doing all my chopping. Now I'm going to take it to the sink and I'm going to drain it. So that way we just have the juices. Now I save my skins because I'm going to dehydrate them. And then I'm going to powder this. And I'm going to make some apple powder. And what's nice about the apple powder is, say you don't have any of these apples. When you dehydrate and make your skins, dehydrate them and then put them in a grinder and grind them up into powder. You can throw that powder into your mix to give yourself an apple flavor. You could do the same thing with banana skins. I've done that and it tastes really good. Make banana powder, of course, all the variety of apples. And you can also make tomato powder with the tomato skins. If you want to have some tomato powder to make your like sauce, tomato sauce or tomato paste, stretch it out, or make your own homemade tomato paste. But there's all kinds of things you can do, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you right back in just a minute. I'm going to drain this in a colander and drain it all out, separate the skins from the apples. Then we're going to come to mixing, and then we're going to come to pouring the batter. And I'll bring you back to that. Okay, I'm done all the mixing, and you want to mix it really, really, really well. Okay, so it's keep on forgetting to do this again. Oh, there's my other alarm. Okay, you want to mix it really, really well. See that? Okay, because what you want to do is when you get your fruit, especially like if you're doing peaches, because you can add definitely pretty much any kind of fruit you want in it. Peaches, cherries, apples. You can even do bananas. You want to make sure your mix is really, really mixed well. Make sure you go all the way down to the very bottom of it. I'll put a link of my first oatmeal bake, which is just the oatmeal bake that I did by itself. And it's got more step-by-step instructions. But this one I want to make sure that it stays right under my 15-minute time frame that I gave myself. So you want to make sure this is all mixed very well. And see how they have it turn color because of the apple and water that they were soaking in. I just made a big mess. Okay, so now we're going to add the apples in here. Alrighty, that's pretty much all of it. Kind of hard to tell between the apple and the white colander here. Okay, and look, I'm going to show you. See how small, diced up these are? And you want, I personally like them that way, small versus really big, because it's easier for them to mix with the entire mixture. And you pretty much get an apple on almost every single bite. So now you just want to fold the apples in with the mix without crushing your apples. Okay, and it always works well if you have, whoop, let me move this out of the way so y'all can see better. It always works well if you have a big bowl. So you always want to start with this, with a bowl that's big enough. And see how I'm just kind of folding the apples into the mix, and I'm scraping the bowl, the sides of the bowl, because you definitely want to do that. And go all the way down to the very middle center, all the way down the middle center, and bring things up and around. This is what you call folding in an item into another item. Okay. And I think we're mixed pretty good. My oven's ready. So, yep, I don't have, you want to make sure there's not like clumps, a pile of pieces of apple that don't have oatmeal all over it. And that's how you know if it's very well incorporated. Okay, and I think it is. So I'm going to turn you over, and I'm going to bring you over. Sorry for the move. Make sure that I'm in frame. Yep, I am. Okay, let me bring my bowl. And anytime I'm baking, especially with glass, because things, you just never know, things happen. If this were to crack or break while it was in my oven, I don't want to have a big mess in my oven, so I always put a cookie sheet underneath it. That's just me. You do what you want to do. But I went ahead and coated this with butter spray. And now I'm going to pour. Typically I would hand it and pour it, but since I don't have any more I have wrist issues, I'm just going to spoon it in. But I can get a big old chunk. And then once it gets smaller, when it's not so heavy, yeah, see, it's not so heavy now. Just dump the whole thing in. And this is also the great time when you want to scrape your bowl. Get all those goodies, grab all those goodies that you just mixed up. And this is ready for the sink. Abby did my dishes for me. Little droplets right there. Make sure clean table, clean utensils, so if you do spill, you can pick it back up. Then I'm just going to smooth this out, level it out. You want to level the center, so make sure it goes all the way to the edges. It'll still spread when it's in bacon, but you want to help it out a little bit. And I'm just smoothing the edges down a little bit here. That's all I'm doing. Making this smooth here. I'm using my clean fingers. And there's my taste test on when it's raw. Y'all know me and my taste test. I love the taste test. Okay, so let's put it in the oven. Let me angle you over. And I'm going to do this on the top rack. Well, actually, it's just into the middle. It's pretty much like the middle rack. Oh, this thing is heavy. Ooh, yikes. Now I'm going to set my timer, and then we'll come back for the taste test. We'll be back. Now I got to clean up my dishes. Okay, we're back. It baked for 40 minutes. This is a 13 by 9 pan. I let it sit for 15 minutes. You really only need 10 minutes. Mmm. See how steamy it is? Doesn't that look good? Getting a slice for me. Getting a slice for hubby. So we can have our dessert. But we're basically, this is for breakfast. Now let's do the taste test. You can see the, let me bring it closer. So you can see the pieces of the apple and the whole oatmeal cake. Ooh, still pretty steamy. Now that's a really good dessert. It's not overly sweet, but it is sweet, but it's not over sugared, which is what I like about this recipe. Okay, the apples are soft. Give me another bite. 2 thumbs up. Definitely be making this again. Only next time I think I might try it with peaches, bite-sized pieces of peaches, because summer's here and it's time for some fresh produce. So anyway, I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And don't forget to look in the description box for some items that you may be interested in. It is no additional cost to you, and it just helps grow my channel. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the ring the bell, and that way you'll know when I get my next video posted. Take care now. Bye-bye.